Well, what are you guys doing? Successful, but we got stuff cooking. So don't touch that button either. Duly noted. Duly noted. But I got 999,000 to get to 1,000,000. 1,000,000 views. Look at meat eaters coming out with stuff. Ever since I've been doing this, people have been trying to, oh, he's gonna come out with a video. No, no, I'm not. Been in a lot of competition here lately. But the channel's grown significantly. I've gained over 1,000 followers in 4 days, people. Over 1,000 followers. Subscribers, people that are interested. Even talk to some vegans. I don't know about vegans. I haven't seen a cold front like this in a few years. I think the last time I got lucky and I was hunting in this kind of weather, I shot not the big guy. He's over here. I don't have my camera on because I think I'm hoping it's going to something like that, dude. The flying, and I hit it right in the face. So, and I ate that motherfucker or that thing. It's a 410 people aren't really that great, dude. And I beg to differ with them. You know, low wooded area, dude, where these birds can just see. Dude, my connection's just not good. Maybe one day I'll have internet again. Who knows? The guy was pretty good. I don't care. G23, what have you been doing? Are you still in Oregon? In Washington? Low connection, man. I'll see if that works. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That's what I heard anyway. I haven't watched his shit since like the last time him and Yankee got into it. I was like, yeah, this is why I quit watching. You know, or at least snow. And again, I haven't seen snow like this in a few years. Even I think before the birthday, I shot the buck over on the back 40, where I used to make videos way back then. What was that? That was like 10 years ago, something like that. On the back 40 out there. I hunted out there a lot for turkey, all kinds of little. Went squirrel hunting, man. Picked up 4 good squirrels. That's where hunting spot number 2 was. I told him, man, all you need, set a little bog tripod with the death grip on the bipod. Stick your crossbow right there. They could have had a nice doe the other day. They were paying attention. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard about unrest in my city, but yet I haven't been here. If that makes sense, I've been gone. Man, it felt like for a minute there I was going to be in Michigan for the rest of my life. I couldn't get out of that state, man. I spent literally 2 months in that state, off and on. Absolutely, categorically craziness. Then staying at the casino's been kind of a bummer too, man. That's been kind of bum pickings there, man. They did do up FanDuel good, and they put the cup holder trays right there where I can watch the Bears pull off another head scratcher of a game. But again, sports ball is not really what I'm interested in right now. I got we got this cold front coming in. I got like 2 videos I could make, but I'm thinking about cutting them down and just making them shorts, or just cutting them down in general, like cutting out all the hoo-ha in the stand, and then just showing the action. Like, I think more people would appreciate just, not so much the lead up to it, but a small lead up and then boom, you know what I'm saying, action. So I think I'm gonna do it in that, and it's less time editing, and I hate editing, and I think it's one of the most vile things in the universe today. But it's got to be done. It's vile, vile. Hey, I have to be at the point where Glockcast sort their inventory because of the stupid switches. Yeah, man, that's China. A lot of people don't understand, man. Those things were coming from China. Like, they started to pop up around here, dude, and it was no joke. People were actually using them, and I think some people got shot with one, dude. And that's what, you know, raised the eyebrows. And then I guess ICE was spotted in my town today. But again, I haven't been here, so who knows? But like, this spot is between Chicago, South Bend, and Indianapolis. Like, those are the hotbeds of crime and a hive of villainy and scum, wretchedness. Those places. Don't get me wrong. I love going to the South Bend Cubs game. Don't get me wrong, but I don't stay there after dark. I like to go to day games. Day drinking's interesting, especially when you try to do uh, a hot dog and a beer every inning. So that'd be 9 beers and 9 hot dogs. Good luck. Doesn't quite work out. I'll show you my scorecard. I'll post it on Instagrams. If you haven't followed me on the Instagrams yet, follow me on the Instagrams. I'll post a drunken scorecard on that one. Don't ever go to a Thirsty Thursday, because the college kids from like Notre Dame, and then IUSB, all those kids swarm that place, because Thirsty Thursday, I think, is like $3 beers or something like that, $2 beers. And it's just, the lines are just outrageous. So I get there really early, snag 2 beers, 2 dogs, and maybe some nachos or something that ain't gonna get soggy depending on the weather. That's my get up for baseball games. And I'm still pissed that guy stole my bat over there in Gary. But it's Gary for you. I mean, that's not the first time. If this makes any sense, this isn't the first time I've had stuff stolen from me in Gary. Let's just put it that way. Gary. I forgot to mention Gary there too. Gary's a hop, skip, and a jump. You can go on my Instagram, like I said. You can go see all them pictures I take from the high rise. It's fun. Fun times. Be another year older coming up too, guys. Another year older. So, but that cold front's gonna be really, really sweetness. Maybe I'll get them, because I got to show you the picture that was taken of this dude that's crawling around there. I don't know. I didn't see him today, and I will admit, man, because I'm just that kind of guy, that I did see deer today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. Oh, you have to wait until the video. I saw a deer today, man, and I almost spooked one. So it wasn't like, I don't know if this will make sense to hunters out there, but like, I put a percentage, on what my sit will be. Like, today was like 30%. If I could scoot by that southwest wind, I'd be all right. If deer didn't show up right away. And as soon as I sat down in the stand, got comfortable, I got a pinched nerve in my back right now. So, stretch that out real quick, and then come down, with my shoulders in a relaxed position, look over to the left, boom, there's a deer right there, man. It was like lot of does, no bucks. So in hindsight, man, that just shows me that the does that are coming into heat, man, are getting pushed off all these properties, and they're getting bred somewhere else. So it'll just have to be a hope and pray at that spot at this point. So I don't know what else to tell you. I can't hunt it for the next day or two. Probably Saturday, but it's supposed to rain. This rain turns into snow, and they're talking about accumulation now because it looks like it's gonna intensify. So that would cause what we call here up here in the north, lake effect snow. A lot of people, and man, there's a couple fatalities from people hitting deer, and I called into the local radio station and told them to announce, don't forget, it's deer breeding season. Be careful on the roads in the country. And they did it too. They didn't give me no credit for it. They don't give credit what credit is due. It's the media, but, there's one lady on the outskirts of Chicago that hit a deer, and she had just had a baby like 3-4 weeks ago. And she hit a deer and passed away. So I mean, they're gonna be when you see the doe come over there. Look at Clover Tax in here, dude. Go buy some of those gloves. I gotta watch it on replay, and then go look at the company because he gave his Instagram too, and I wrote it down over yonder. But they'll be rutting in my area anyway. The people in the South, like Texas where Clover is. Mississippi, Georgia, you guys are on the cusp of being on the rut. Running around the roads here, got to drive carefully. Yeah, dude. You'll start picking them up left and right quicker than the hunters. We're getting lots of rain. Yeah. Yeah, our rain's turned into snow, and I love to hunt in the snow. I would rather hunt in the snow than the rain. But sometimes they could, the weather people have been wrong. I don't care what they have to say. Ron's been a member for 37 months. I got to change the icons. I'm keeping the Rohirrim one. Look at the Rohirrim. When you're in the Rohirrim, you're in the Rohirrim, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I got to change the other icons for people that want to come over to either this album or something else. The Rohirrim's the Rohirrim, man. You know what that's about. But I don't know, man. It's just gonna be cold. I had to drag all my bibs out, dude. I had to drag bibs out. I dragged my bibs out. I got chargers for my heated socks, dude. It's supposed to get chilly. They're talking it could swipe the upper 20s, and that's cold, especially with that moisture coming off the lake, man. It's gonna create a lot of rain and a lot of snow. Unless it dips down when it hits the lake and kind of cruises over to Michigan and then hits, off the lake in Michigan. That will happen too. What is that? Lansing will get hit by it. Kalamazoo, all those places. I was up there for a minute for some fucking reason. I can't remember. Running down the bar ditch yesterday. Crazy. Man, I'm telling you, I knew I was going to see big deer sooner or later, or somebody's going to see big deer sooner or later. And all of a sudden, in the last 3 or 4 days, people around the county have been picking off some really good ones, dude. And when I mean really good ones, I think it's a Pope and Young is being measured for Pope and Young or something like that, which is the scoring of antlers. If you want to go look at the scoring of antlers, be my guest. I'm not a horn star, but it is what it is, but there's a couple of good ones that were shot that are being recommended to be looked at. So, I mean, they're popping up now. They said it was supposed to be like 55, 57 at the most. It was 62 when I left my spot today. 62, and the temperature drop off wasn't until 5 o'clock, and regular shooting light ended at 4:39 today. So what does that tell you? I mean, your hours in the evening are dramatically cut. That's why everybody's like on the other pages, so on and so forth. Oh, my cameras are so busy, but it's at night. You know what I'm saying? They're chasing, seeking at night, because I have a couple of good ones on my camera, here and there. And then up to this point, it's just been nothing but does. Like does everywhere, everywhere, and nobody's trailing them, nobody's chasing them. So that tells me that this big doe group that I've been hunting out of, that I shot that deer out of this year already, this doe group's not in heat yet, or it's been broken up to the ones that are, that have come in heat, and the big ones are coming, and because there's one that stepped out the other day. So they're on a little bit of a lockdown period. Some thermal underwear, clothing roll. Yeah, dude. I wish like First Light or somebody would sponsor me. That would be clutch, dude. Some thermals. Dude, I have bibs, sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, one pair of gloves, one pair of mitten gloves. So like I was talking about that on Clover Tax chat. You know what I'm saying? To get some different gloves for like the springtime for like turkey hunting, but the fingerless ones and maybe a little bit of camouflage thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I have, dude. A pair of bibs, my those boots you always see in my pictures, man. They're sitting by somebody else's door. You know what I'm saying? That's those are the only boots that I got. That a pair of Jordans. A lot of call bucks here, dude. That's easy. That dude, you should donate that, man. You should donate that meat. Years past. This spot's always produced bucks, man. And this is a spot that I always want to spend my buck tag out of. But this year's been kind of funky up and down, you know, and donate to my freezer. Yeah, oh dude, I'm telling you, I have 4 or 5 roasts, dude. I have about 20 pounds of grind. It's just me anyways. I still have back straps. I still have the tenderloin. So I got good cuts. I'm just waiting for another deer real quick, because it's going to be a cold winter, man. It's going to be a really, really cold winter. People are going to be shocked about how cold it's going to be. It may not snow, and we only might get dumped on in like January, beginning of February, like we did last year. But it's going to be bad. You're going to be digging out for days. But this one snuck up on everybody. Nobody thought it was going to snow. They weren't even talking about snow, and I think until this past Sunday, they mentioned a possibility, but it was definitely going to be rain. But it's gonna be super duper cold, man. Super duper cold. You know, and they have to get up and move. Deer feed 5 times in a 24 hour cycle. So if like today was really windy, man, like I said, the Weather Channel was wrong. It wasn't even close to 57. It was 62 with a south southwest wind. And the south southwest wind didn't come at 8 o'clock in the morning. It came at 12, and it came in gusts over 25 miles an hour. It had to be. It was knocking limbs down, and that's what decided to chase me out of the tree, was the limbs falling. I mean, I don't. They call it a widow maker for a reason. You know, hey, and I did hear a gunshot this afternoon too. I heard a couple gunshots. So gun season's right around the corner. I mean, some of the deer that I've seen this year are not going to survive, man. Especially some of these younger ones that have like they're developing really well, and I hope to see them in the coming years. But like I said, if family tradition gets in the way of that, it gets in the way of that. I'm not gonna fret over it, because I know there's always gonna be quality deer. There's a doe in this group that throws a buck fawn every year. So there's always going to be a buck out of that group. The smaller doe group has gotten even smaller, so that tells me that they're getting bred somewhere off the properties that I hunt, which is devastating, because I watched the big guy, because I used to live over there, and I watched the big guy for 2 years herd does back into that corner of them woods. And you know what I'm saying? I saw basically almost all the series of leading into like the rut, like where fighting is intense Like every buck that I've come in encounter with since after I think it was the 8th or the 11th had broken antlers. Every deer that I came in contact, even the ones that you can go back there right now and look on the channel, that buck, the kind of the spooked buck, broken antler. Uh, I seen another buck out in the field the other day, and you just can't see it on camera, broken antler. The tree leaves are falling uh, with these gusts of wind. So I'm starting to get really big gaps right there in front of me. So that should be clutch. And this is when I really see the chasing action really heat up. Usually, peak ruts around gun season. Like the DNR always schedules gun seasons around the rut, the peak of the rut, which around here seems to be around the 14th, 15th, and then dragging on in there. But again, I shot this dude that's hanging on the wall in December. You can't see him, but so I mean, you never know. And that doe was in heat, and that's on video, so you can look at that if you don't believe in a second rut. All these younger deer that have been born this year, their cycle might not be until December, January. And that could really save your season. That can really save your freezer, especially if I know people that haven't tagged a deer yet. Imagine that. Like at this point, I won't take does because they're being bred and I don't want to spoil gene pools. But if somebody needs meat in their freezer, go ahead. I mean, it doesn't bother me a bit. Make shooting does great again. I don't understand the factor. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just because I have a big doe group that surrounds me where I hunt. But yeah, man, make shooting does great again, man. Go out there and shoot your doe. That's why I always like to shoot a doe right off the get-go, man, to get my bearings, get like my feel for it, just like test driving a car. Just like, all right, this is what I have to adjust. I have to do better in this shot placement or this angle. So far, man, every deer that I've shot has fallen. The one that I shot way on almost the other side of the county, you know what I'm saying? That one took a lot of coaxing. I called that deer in on a fawn bleat. So I mean, there's tricks of the trade, man. I rattled today too. I even rattled a little bit today, right on the really cold winds when they died down, right on the cusp of when, I don't know if you've ever been hunting, if you're out there. I know Clover has, but those really quiet moments when you get in the woods, man. A couple of those, man, I smacked antlers together. You know what I'm saying? Spooked a couple of squirrels. But I see another really big fox squirrel, people. Watch out. Watch out. I'll tell you right now. Ever since shooting them squirrels, man, that first time, and then you quarter them up, and then you make like buffalo wings out of them. Try that. It's absolutely fantastic. Fantastic table fare. And I never believed it, man. And then I had squirrel soup. And then I had squirrel tacos. And then I had squirrel burritos. And I'm like, this thing is so versatile for like camp food. And like that Foxy that I shot, folks, oh, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna do him up good for Thanksgiving. Plus I shot the turkey here, the collaboration bird. Shot that guy this spring. So I'll have pheasant, chucker, turkey, and squirrel for Thanksgiving. So if you don't like wild game, don't come to my Thanksgiving because that's going to be plus homemade Jerry jam for the biscuits. From blackberries. You can go see that on my shorts where I'm eating those berries off that bush. Yeah, some of that jam made from those. I got some syrup too that I'm gonna incorporate. Probably on some dove breast. Dove season is open, but it's kind of dicey because people are deer hunting too. But we went way back in this unit. I threw it on Instagram, the picture of it. Like, I think it's called Changing Gears. Because, like, I was kind of getting burned out on deer hunting, man. The winds weren't going where I needed them to go. And then I started spooking deer a little bit. So I was like, man, I'm going to hold off on that spot. Wait until, the point coming up now and then go balls to the wall when this weather hits. But yeah, get those too, man. I mean, it's gonna be a good meal. It's gonna be a filling meal. I mean, that turkey breast is huge, huge, man. It was a really good bird. I got his feathers over here, man. I gotta get a frame. I got a frame. I got an idea for it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a good idea. One of the best experiences ever is turkey hunting. It's cool. Like I've lived out in the woods for the past 7 months, man. That's all I've been, man. Sleeping in my truck, waiting to go, going to other states. Like one of the most disappointing hunts was the one in Tennessee on their state land. That was pretty lame. I shot a squirrel out of there though, but I had my small game license. You know what I'm saying? The most expensive squirrel in my life cost me $65 for him, and I just caught him barely. And boy, I had to climb damn near into a gully to get him out. And it was just a squirrel, a nice little gray squirrel. Ate him for Thanksgiving too. That was good stuff. Yeah, some mashed potatoes. Oh God, that's coming up, isn't it? What do you guys think about all this sports gambling? Isn't that crazy? Then they brought Michael Jordan back. Isn't that wild? That's what I hear through the grapevine. A lot of things in society going wild. But what can you do? I can't even see the comments though. Oh, I don't want to ban people. Oh, all messages. There we go. Okay. There we go. Questions. Oh, add a question and answer sticker. Start. Here we go. Start the Q&A. Food you wish you had no calories. Pizza. I would say pizza, man. Dude, I'll take a pizza to the dome. You know. Oh, did we end it? Good, thank God. Don't make me talk about pizza, food. I was thinking about those back straps this afternoon, but it was so windy, man, and I don't want to get the charcoal going. You know what I'm saying? It'll burn that charcoal up really quick. It turned to a northwest wind, but it was a hard one, man. It only got silent, 10 minutes before shooting time was done, the whole thing. So I watched it, but I'm telling you, snow, man, snow is the equalizer. Snow is the equalizer, and that's what we're gonna get this weekend. Hopefully, I'm hoping Sunday and Monday don't turn into like a rain sleet mix. I hope that doesn't happen. That will make it terrible. I hate bow hunting in the rain. I mean, it's bad enough just thinking about a deer that you waited for, a deer that you've seen, a deer that you've tracked for a little minute, or you tracked for, I don't know, a few years. And you take a shot on them and it's raining, or, you have that light mist. Man, it'll clear a blood trail up quick. Real quick. That's why I don't like hunting in the rain. I think it's kind of risky, especially if you're going to put all the time and effort into your spot. Like I put a lot of time and effort into this spot this year. I had so much personal stuff going on. I just didn't have time to deal with it, and then threw a Band-Aid on it, got burnt again, But now it's like, oh, next year I hope to have 7 spots. That's my goal, is to have 7 spots next year. That's all I want, is 7 spots. We're gonna be a lot of door knocking next year. A lot of places being sold. A lot of places are being sold quick. So just gonna have to watch and see who moves into these places. Sometimes, man, you get bamboozled, man. You get people in there that don't like hunting. And then it's a big foul up, after that. It gets complicated, man. It doesn't help out. Look at the gun snob, dude. He's in the Rohirrim too. Look at him. The whole Rohirrim is coming. Dun, dun. Somebody's blowing the horn, dude. Where's the Obnoxious? Where's that guy been? What'd he do? I already know what Sarge is doing. Sarge is giving people tickets. Gary's still humming around with the show. I think congratulations to Gary Gizzard. He fucking hit what he did, 4,500. Good job. You should go. Gary's got one of the best shows on there. It's like, those are the people that I would talk to, like, if I was eating breakfast. Oh, I did do that when we went and had breakfast. I was like, this is a conversation I could have every day. Meet you at the breakfast spot. Mystic Guns. I hope you're keeping that dude in line. He gets wild sometimes. He's getting old though. I seen him selling that welder. Boy, you look old. We'll have to get in the Wayback Machine. Get them pictures. Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of people. Oh, you had a bout with cancer too? Yeah. No shit. Well, you're still here, so that means that's good news. That means it's good news, man. Yeah, Cindy just got done with her breast cancer a month or so ago. Barely here, huh? Jesus. Well, you're here though. You're here. That's what counts. That's what counts, man. Yeah. Been through it too. My lot of people that I know here recently passed away. Like my old boss from my old job passed away from cancer. He had liver cancer. He's gone. Then another lady there that I worked with, she passed away unexpectedly after some kind of surgery or something. Very bad. And she was hard off too, because she had just come off a heart attack. Dude, I don't know. I'm glad you're all right though. I'm glad you're typing shit. That's always a plus. Ugh. Who else is out there that I don't know? There's all kinds of people watching. Yeah. Yeah, people come, people go, man. I had such a spike there for a hot minute. I don't know why YouTube does that to me. They get my hopes up and then they just drag my face into the dirt. They snatched my live on public land the other day. And I think that's why my channel slowed down, because it just totally exploded out of nowhere. But it is what it is. What can you do? I mean, it was just my crossbow, man. It wasn't. They sent me a little note. Oh, please don't do that. I'm like, it was just a crossbow. The pistola was in the bag. Wasn't even on camera. Not that I seen. And I looked at what they gave me. So you had to go all the way through the video. I don't know if you guys are content creators. I know a lot of you guys are out there are content creators, but some of the new people that are part of the channel now, like you guys don't like create content. And like they'll send you a video, man, and you have to go through there to pick it out to see what they dinged you with. I'm like, no, man. The gun was in the bag, bro. That wasn't the gun in my hand. But I didn't dispute it. I just apologized, you know. We are sorry, overlords of YouTube. Look at Vanessa Kitty. Dude, I seen a Kunin for sale. Oh my god, dude. It was the nicest 1911 that I've ever seen. It had engraving on it. I don't want to tell you how much it was because then we'll get in trouble again. Trust me. All the rants and raves are gone. They took everything. They rubbing me out. They're rubbing me out. Below freezing for over 2 weeks. You're up in, what is that, Maine? Why do I want to say Maine? Maybe because Cycle Camp was from that area. But I know you're from the East Coast. I know it's going to get cold. Those Canadians are so mad. They lost the trade war. They lost the World Series. And now they're going to send us all their cold air. Connecticut. Yeah, that's it. Connecticut. I knew it was over there in those neck of the woods over there. That's why I told people. Like, I know people from all over the place. Like, I miss Seven Wonders. I hope he's doing okay. He was on the fritz there for a hot minute. I remember that dude. He was a good dude. Maybe. They're calling for snow. They said it's supposed to switch over Saturday night to an accumulation. That's what they give us. They don't give us the exact amount of snow that's going to fall. Accumulation is possible. So I hope it's just not flurries. You know what I'm saying? Just like Seven Wonders was fun, dude. He was a good dude. He emailed me a while back, right when I went through all the shit, man. We had a deep conversation. Like, I had a lot of deep conversations with a lot of people, man. Especially my boss before he passed. That was a that's one of the deepest conversations I've had with a human being since like my dad died. That's how complicated that one was. Me and that dude went through thick and thin for that job. Who else? And Rupan, remember Rupan? That dude was cool. Like, I've known a lot of people over the years, man. That's the great thing about YouTube. You can meet people with your own liked interest. Sometimes they stick around, sometimes they don't. That's how it goes, man. I just had a hard time finding the internets. Couldn't find the internets. My job got really complicated too. Really got complicated. But, yeah. There's all kinds of... Why do they keep on wanting me to do questions and answers? I don't want no questions. I don't care. The chat bots. Another thing that my phone's been doing here lately is trying to download a ChatGPT program. I'm like, no. Everybody's praising this stuff until the Terminators come out, man. Then what are you gonna do? Look at the drones at this point. You know? Then you're gonna have these things walking around the streets like those dogs and those little trash cans, those little robots that look like trash cans. And you're gonna think to yourself, man, maybe we shouldn't cheer this stuff on. And then Skynet begins. And then somebody's gonna have to be John Connor. A lot of us are gonna be people in the background, I guess. Where's Midnight Range TM? Where's that dude? He always had a late night show. That was a hoot. He was another one. I don't know. Oh, we gotta get another. I have a couple of sixes on the screen. We can't have the number of the beast. We need another person to join. Wait, find somebody. Somebody just come in here. Somebody. Anyways, there we go. Number of the beast. It's gone. But I can't wait to get out there. I got. I did find my toe warmers, and I got some hand warmers. So I'm set for the most part. Now it all depends how bad the north wind is. The north wind is pretty tough. I'm not a fan of this drone shit in which you speak of. That's why I don't live in a big city. Yeah, dude, I tell you, man, I've been watching some stuff uh, that they've been putting out, like just it ain't gonna be what you saw in Desert Storm, the first one. You know, it's not what you're gonna see in definitely in the World Wars that our grandparents have seen over so many years. Dude, it's a whole different ballgame. It's not even closely related to what I was doing. You know, it is far surpassed that. You know, there's a lot of interaction per se from what I've seen out of the Ukraine, but a lot of it is drone. It's drone driven. And now they're having those drones with the cables on them. Have you seen those? Those are pretty wild. And I was watching a soldier clip the cables. You know, it's I mean warfare is, mm, you know, it's getting pretty bad, man. Pretty bad. I try not to pay attention to it, but you can't not pay attention to it, man. I mean, Gaza was bad enough. That was bad enough, man. I couldn't. eh, That was the pretty sad moments, man, that we've seen in the last few years. You know, sometimes you gotta get right with yourself. I will say that, man. You gotta get right with yourself. I don't care who you believe in. No race, color, or creed here. Just get right with yourself, man. Do what you need to do and be productive member of society, man. That's all I can speak to. Going through my trials and tribulations to get to where I am now is a freaking miracle. It's a miracle. Just like some of these people out in the chat, it's a miracle, man. And you gotta look at that blessing, man, and you just gotta say, hell yeah, man, and start moving forward, get better. My buddy just got in a really horrible crash. He was at a stop, and this lady didn't make the turn and hit him head on, broke his vertebrae in his neck. Dude, just absolutely insane shit that I've been seeing. And he's one of my last friends from school. A lot of the other ones are either dead or in jail, or I just don't even talk to them anymore. So, yeah, man, a lot of scary shit. And that dude, me and him go way back. We go way back, man. We used to go to Chicago a lot back in the day. Used to go to all the Cubs games and stuff like that. Go hang down on State and Division, and then scoot over uh, to some of the downtown stuff, because the Mag Mile wasn't what it was today. I'll tell you that much, man. Back in my day, that was the place to go. It was the Mag Mile down in there. There's a lot of shops, a lot of places to eat. Then you go to those places like Geno's and all that. Like I went to the Wiener Circle, went to that place where they cuss at you. Went to that place. That was a hoot. The food was absolutely horrible. And to throw that on top of some, like, I think I did a couple of Irish car bombs, if you know what those are. Gross. Yep, that came up. So, yeah, man, those are the good old days. That's when I was like 18 years old, 19 years old. That was a long time ago. As I referred to in the beginning, dude, yeah, my birthday's coming up. I'm gonna take some time off for that. I will be in a tree stand though. I guarantee that. A couple years back, almost 2 handfuls of years back, man. I shot one on my birthday. It was a pretty good buck for my first one. It was pretty good. And Sam says, I don't think this world can handle another war on terror, but I have a feeling it could be a possibility. Well, Dick Cheney's gone, so we don't have to worry about that mastermind of destruction conjuring something up out of his head. I mean, let's face it. Drug my shit around for that nonsense. So, I mean, a lot of people after went to Iraq, dude. A lot of my friends went there. Tons of them, man. They came back different people, man. Different people. I will say that, man. Different people. They did a lot of different shit, man. But again, when you get short, man. You got to go fill a role. You're a soldier first. That's how that works. Trying to fix my broadhead. So for you people that don't do like archery or crossbows, because if you put crossbows and archery, the people get mad at you in this kind of neck of the woods of the business that I'm in nowadays. But I call it archery anyway. My Schwacker, my 2-inch Schwacker, man, is kaputs. But I did find a kit online where I can take these blades out. You can't see it because if I turn on my camera, I might lose my internet. But there's it looks like a little baby, I don't know, Allen wrench, man, one of them real tiny ones in there. And I can replace the blades on it because, man, I'm telling you, I shot that one deer with the 1.75-inch blades, and I was satisfied. It did the job. But these 2-inchers, man, 2-inchers are where it's at. And, I shot, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 deer with that broadhead before I had these troubles with it. And that, I think 4 deer, that's a lot of deer with one broadhead. Because you can tell now that it's pretty dull. And the chisel blade on the front of it, if you've ever seen that, man, chisel blade on, it's kind of bent a little bit right at the tip. So the whole broadhead's probably should be, I could probably rework it if I mess with it and sand it myself. But we're in the heart of deer season, man. I've got umpteen amount of broadheads that I can use from Rage to something else. What's up, man? What's going on? A lot of people are coming through, man, through the cut. I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. I don't get to do this often. I used to do it every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, 10:30, whenever my internet permitted it. Remember those days? A lot of that shit. But I did hook a camera. So I should have made the video before I left, but I did hook a camera rig up to the tree stand that now you're going to be able to see stuff without me shaking or without me baking. So I can move it now. Recurve and this guy shot a stud with a recurve yesterday. I was very impressed, man. It's doable, very doable, and he looked like a very capable, doable person to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I shot a compound back in the day, but man, I've gone through so much non-surgeries that should have been surgeries on my shoulders. It just never healed right, man. I can't hold the string back, man. It would have to be pull it back, let it fly. The flamethrowers push back the cold front. Guy that comments is out there. Yeah, man, dude. It's gonna be a cold one. It's gonna be, dude. This is gonna reach all the way out there in PA, bro. It's gonna reach all the way down the eastern seaboard, dude. You're lucky. The East Coast is lucky they didn't get hit by that hurricane and then had this cold weather. It'd be like, what was that one? Hurricane Helena that hit them and froze everything after it flooded. Yeah, man. I tell you what, I blame it on the Canadians. It's Canadians' fault. They lost the trade war. They lost the World Series, and now they're all upset. So they're like, "All right, let's get the weather machine going." And they get all the little hamsters, because they're anti-energy. Get all the hamsters and the mooses, and all the wolves that they let go up there. They run these wheels, man, that power the solar panels, and that pushes the cold air, and it's what makes our north wind front. And then we get stuck with, the snow that's coming in. It's absolutely horrible. I don't tell you, man. Go ask a weather guy. They'll say the same thing. That's how we get our snow, man. It's all generated by the hamster wheels and wolf wheels and all that up there north. They probably get the bears too. They get the fat bears on the treadmill. Yeah, crossbow's all right, man. Joints have a built-in weather app. You got that right. My knee be killing me, man. I remember, what was I doing? I was working at this place long time ago. And these military trucks would come in, and it'd be the water trucks and stuff with big tires. I was moving a big tire, and I took it off, dropped it, and rolled it, and then just turned my legs, dude. Everything just to push the tire, and tore my knee. It's never been the same ever since. Didn't have insurance. No, they didn't offer insurance back in those days. You either took it or you didn't. But I tore that knee, and then I nicked it again playing baseball, or actually softball, I think it was. Hurt it again pretty bad. And then it healed again, and ever since then, man, you know it. Like sitting in the tree stand, when was that? A couple days before Halloween. It was really cold, really cold. And that was a north wind. I think that's when one of those little broken tine bucks came through. And dude, I felt it in my legs when I got home. I sat for like 10 hours, 9.5 hours, man. It was a long sit. Supposedly the tribes where my parents are from are good archers. If that's the case, why are my shoulders jacked? Sometimes them genes don't get passed down. That's what I tell them. That's what I tell them. They always tell me, dude, why don't you throw 95 miles an hour like your brother? I said, well, those genes weren't passed down, but I can hit a breaking ball 400 feet, and I'm left-handed. That's got to count for something. I know the feeling. It's just one of those things, man. There's some things you can do, and there's just some things that have your limitation to. And that just happens to be one of them for me. I run an American Grain. Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, you know what? I was actually reading an article about that, about Forever Chemicals or whatever they are, dude. It's pretty scary shit. I grew up in the 80s. I was eating zebra striped gum with wrappers on it, bro. I couldn't imagine when I got stuck in my brain, bro. Oh, I tell you what. All right. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting article. It was written by a doctor, anyways. That's what it said. It could have been written by ChatGPT for all I know. I mean, hell, this Mountain Dew's probably giving me, some kind of acetones. I don't know. I'm not a zoologist. I don't know. I just want to tell people, man, get them on here and tell them, Cole, the winter's coming, dude. Jon Snow is arriving. Winter is coming, or this is just the beginning. I haven't seen what the temperature is going to be after this cold front. They kind of haven't come out with that information, but I'll tell you right now, they've been wrong 60% of the time that I've been hunting the past 2 weeks. So We'll see if this snow is accurate. We'll see if this rain forecast. I think rain starts Saturday. Friday night drags into Saturday morning. They said there could be some heavy downpours. Like I said, I'm not going to go out there in the rain. I don't have waterproof stuff, unfortunately, so I'd be soaked. Just chalk it up there. I don't think if there's movement, it's not going to be where I'm at. I will say that at this point, from what I'm seeing, like on my cameras and what I'm seeing, the movement's just not there for me to make that sit. I would have rather sat today than sit coming up on Friday. I think it is Friday, but definitely Monday, definitely Sunday. I'd be in a tree stand in my area. If you hunt the rain and that's your thing, I mean, Friday and Saturday are the days for you. But I'm telling you, the last I have not seen deer in my spot. I've seen deer every time I've sat, if that makes sense. So I mean, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time before the animal makes a mistake, man. Cold lessens the strength of the string, don't it? Something, man. A good dude to watch about that is that dude that hangs around with Waddell. I forget, T-Bone. That dude seems to really know about his archery stuff. Like, I know waxing the strings, like you don't want to put it on the serving because that will collect a lot of like dirt and debris and that could tear it up. Like if you look at a crossbow, even the ones from the medieval times, in the middle they have that big stretch of string there. Like I'll do it on the barrel so the string will glide better down the barrel, but I don't like grease the hell out of it like that because I want my arrow to go, or my bolt, I should say. I want it to fly true. I don't want it to get wonky. Just want enough to keep it going where it needs to go and where it needs to get pushed. So yeah, like that string in the middle there, man, I don't wax that up. But it's a Barnett, and going over countless reviews, like I used a Barnett and I tagged out with it a couple years ago because what was that thing? The Rocky Mountain 360, the optic broke on it, and I couldn't find an optic that would fit it. You know what I'm saying? It was a real wonky crossbow. I got it for like $100, and then I was like, "Hey, let me borrow this Barnett," and then I tagged out with it, and then I used that Killer Instinct last year, and that's what I shot the Beanfield buck. Finds deer with her car. Mystic Guns finds deer in Two Live Move out there. He's in the great state of Michigan. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's little things that I've picked up from that guy, and he seems to really know his stuff, and he's not like boring to listen to. He's not like a Hickok 45. It's just like that. And plus he shoots deer. You know what I'm saying? He does stuff. So, like I'll watch him. I'll watch some other guys. Death by Bungie. If you guys want to know what I watch, that's what I watch. I watch his stuff a lot, dude. It's called the SWAT. I'm telling you, dude. He shot this deer, and this deer didn't. It was gone before it knew it was gone. That's how fast his bow shot, and I was like, holy moly. And then his arrow hit the tree and ricocheted like 60 feet. It was wild, dude. I'm like, man, if you had somebody with you hunting, you were up high and he was down low, ooh, that would have been miserable. I've already seen people on the Facebook pages I kind of go through, man. They've already shot themselves in the foot with a crossbow, and I'm telling you, people are losing toes. Well, probably doesn't show up. Glowing hot against thermals would be a hassle to raid a trench with it. Oh, yeah. That's why they were always in the back. I was always in the back. Unless you were Legolas. Death by Bungie, yeah. He knows what he's doing with those things. Yeah. his arrow tuning needs a little bit of work, but he's got one of them spin jobbies too. I was looking at that. I wish I could turn on my camera. I'll lose the signal, but I got a couple of I got a couple of nice bolts that nothing wrong with them, but the knock broke and it's super glued in there. So I'm drilling out the knock and trying to loosen up that super glue to get that out because I have some new ones from Nap that I got to put in this one. And it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra bolts. So I'm pretty stacked with that. And I've killed deer with some of these already. Dude, you should see that Oracle, that scope, the Oracle, dude. That thing is no joke, dude. I think it's for like 4,200. We had the Pulsar version of that one, but I mean, oh, we'll show that. They're trying to hold it. He says that's a lot of hospital bills shooting themselves with crossbow bolts. Oh, dude, it's severing off toes. You know what I'm saying? It's severing off toes, dude. His foot looked bad too, top to bottom, bro. Like it is no joke. Like go watch that dude's video of when he shoots. What does he shoot? One of those small deer. I forgot what they were called. Some kind of a Sitka. I think it was a Sitka deer. And dude, he drills this little Sitka deer, man, and it is like astonishing. Like as soon as that arrow hits the animal is passed. That's how fast it is. And it's called the SWAT XT or something. And he's got that Oracle on there. And some of these rangefinder or some of these scopes for crossbows are coming out with rangefinders. Like me, my spots are marked in my shooting lanes. Like all my spots are marked. Like I know when they get off to the right, that's 18 yards. If they get past beyond the hill, that's 20. Behind me is 22 yards. You know, closer to me is another 18-yard shot. Off to the left, that can turn into a 4-yard shot, and then come back around to me to about a 5 to 7-yard shot on that deer, that doe I shot. So yeah, I pretty much know my ranges on here, but it's always good to check them. Like I'll check the spot before they come in there. Like I like to see them before they get to me, man. Sometimes they jump out at you and there's nothing you can do. And sometimes you can get your rangefinder up there and sometimes you can't. Like when they're dilly-dallying in that field, I'll range find them at that point. But if they get any closer, you know, I'm basically sitting next to the deer, man. That's how close I am to these deer and encounters I'm in that corner there. So I gotta be really careful on my movements. I can't be whipping the camera around. I can't be having somebody talking to me while they're recording. Like this is a one-man show, and it's doubly good when it's a north wind that I'm getting this weekend. So it might turn out well, dude. This might be it, man. Because I'll tell you right now, dude. When I make this little video and show you this deer, you'll be like, yeah, that deer will be gone in gun season for sure. Trench sweepers making a comeback. 1897 still going strong 200 years later. Makeshift bow. If you're cut off from resupply behind enemy lines. And be like Daryl, dude. In The Walking Dead, bro. Be like Daryl. You know what I'm saying? Have to use the old crossbow. I always wondered how he's setting it, and he's just pulling it back. I used one of those the other day. Went back to that spot. I didn't make no video or anything, but man, we got covered up in I don't know, 40, 50 turkeys. Man, it just sounded like an endless stream of turkeys. And I was sitting I was sitting to the left of where I shot that doe, the second one. And you can just hear them. And I seen them behind me. And just so many turkeys. It was crazy. But no deer that day showed up. Unless they showed up at night. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of wild stuff this year, man. A lot of wild stuff. I had those turkeys come out on me the other day. That was a pleasure sight. Like, I always captured turkeys in that spot. Like ever since I started putting cameras in that spot, I'm always seeing turkeys. Only had the one turkey on the camera, and then I saw that big flock come through there. Like, no wonder, man. There's like 30 turkeys in this flock. Like, that's a lot. And they were just moseying around, but they took off pretty quick. So it's just good to see them. I didn't buy a turkey tag. I know that one year, the one year I did not hunt spring or fall turkey, I constantly saw turkeys in that spot. Jakes, big gobblers. I seen strutting. I seen all kinds of stuff. Just never bought a turkey tag. You know, and there was multiple times I could have shot a turkey, a bearded turkey, either or. Those hens that I saw the other day were bearded. They had little beards hanging off of them, so they're old birds. They're getting old. Some old mamas out there. We got some young mamas in the chat. We ain't got no old mamas, right? Where's GPB at, huh? She all in the shadows doing laundry. That damn roll call. Damn roll call. Getting me through my tough night. Oh, let me see here. Man. Don't touch that button ever. Don't ever touch that button. Or don't move it, maybe. Don't move it. There's a bug. I seen a big old spider the other day in the woods. Thing was huge. I was like, all right, I'll go the other way. You have convinced me to go the other way. There's not much convincing there at all. Humongous. I used to call it my attack spider. Go break into my truck. Like, I'll have to get my attack spider out. Then you guys are going to freak out. And you probably won't turn into Batman either. Probably turn. Look pretty venomous. Then he just does. The birds might have picked him off too. I was parking my truck in the city for a while, and then it was out in the country for a while. So it probably got picked off by one of the birds because very noticeable insect. Mm-hmm. But it was a cool spider. I spare tire. So if I would have to change my tire, I would just walk to a gas station. You know what I'm saying? And put a for sale sign on my truck. Like, that's, I'll tell you, man, if he bit you, I don't think you're going to turn into Spider-Man, dude. I don't think it's going to happen. That's just me. But getting late, people. I'm on weather watch tonight. Weather watch. So I just think it's going to be a good weekend. Nothing too serious. I think it's going to be a good weekend, man. Honestly, I think it's going to be a good weekend. I think, like, when a doe group come in there and you just have a choice, you can pick and choose. Like, all right, this one's, you feel it's mature enough to be taken. When you start getting those, that's why I knew there's going to be some kind of random buck that's going to show up. That's going to get me hyped. I knew it. It's just a matter of time. A matter of time. He's an animal, man. He's got to do his things, but hopefully those does aren't getting hot right about now, because then you won't see him for 3 to 5 days. And that's if he doesn't just take off. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't just boogie out, he might be like, this is lame. This dude is lame. And he doesn't have no food. He don't have no job. It's Friday. Shit to do. You know what I'm saying? You never know what these guys think. All right, they get all herky jerky on you. You know, you think you got them figured out at one point, and the next point, they're tricking you all over the place. Tricking you all over the place, man. The biggest ride was the big guy. That was the biggest ride in my life, dude. If I would have, when he walked under my stand, that was an eye opener of how big a deer could get. Like I seen one shot, I think it was in southern Illinois, dude, and it looked like a mini elk. And this is what he looked like, you know. And I tracked that deer years. This would have been the 7th year, but I never saw that deer again. He was probably a real old deer. And I would only catch glimpses of him here and there. He would show up, and I'd be like, all right, man, that's cool. I'll see you in the morning. I'd sit and I'd see a 6, or I'd see a forky, or I'd see just a button buck. You know, it was never him again. And it was never him again, even at the time when I had that encounter. Like, he didn't care that he was sitting underneath somebody's stand at that point. There were so many coyotes in the woods at that point. It was the first time I ever heard a deer growl. Like growl. It wasn't like what you see on the videos on YouTube where they're burping, you know, jumping after doe. This was like he was very, very uncomfortable. And I was more focused on the pack of coyotes because I had just 5 minutes prior to that, I just fast because I heard running in the back of those woods. And when stuff starts running at night in the back of those woods, man, you got to be down on the spot. Like I flipped on my light, ball on the hook, man, and just waited. And it was like 10, 15 minutes before legal shooting light, man. And all of a sudden the woods lit up, and then you heard in the corner. I think that video is on there. I think it's on the channel still. I think it's on there, dude. And you can't see him either, but I could see him. Like when you're back deep into those woods, man, it's just, if I zoom in, you can see him when I zoom into that field and he hops into that field. He was a big deer, man. Every bit of 200 pounds, if not more. He was a big deer. At least a 170. But yeah, and every now and again, he would pass through my area and I'd sit out there and I would not see him. I would see some other random buck or a buck that I knew. A picture, I'll post it on Instagram, a picture of him walking through the backyard in January. Like he looks run down. Like you'd be like, man, dude, so that's a decoy. Like those antlers are so big on that small body deer. That's how much he lost when it came down like January, February. Plus we had about of then like a year or two later we had about EHD here. And the year I shot this deer over here, I thought, and he was just a little bit run down. That's why I was like, man, it was a good quality deer, but it just wasn't him again. It was one of the random ones. It's like he was sending out his little soldiers, you know what I'm saying? To, you know, make sure that dude in the tree stand, you know, gets you and not me. You know, take one for the team. That dude did, but he was a runner. I double lunged him, and he ran every bit of 450 yards. Every bit of it, double lunged. He was a strong deer. I remember that day too. That was a good day. I was so happy. And then when the truck, and we had to stop at the gas station to get something, some gas or something, and I started looking at him like, nope, that's not him, because the big guy was paddled out on one side. That's what I call it. And like his antler was really, really wide on one side, and I knew it wasn't him. But it was still a quality deer, and boy, he was good too. A lot of spaghetti. A lot of spaghetti. Billionaires in NZ are gonna have bows to defend their bunkers from the mass centering and ammo. They got money to 3D print, so maybe they can make polymer case 12 gauge. Yeah, yeah, that dude. I was watching a video not too long ago on they tried to do polymer casing again for rifles, and it just does not hold up, dude. They haven't figured out the qualm with that yet. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that the military moved to all different rifles now. So I don't know why the liberals are still hung on, AR-15s when the military doesn't. They're phasing M4s out of there anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're not AR-15s, but they're phasing M4s out of there and doing the other shit with them. 6.8, 6.8. So I don't know what the liberals' big fucking qualm is about ARs anymore. I mean, now they want your hunting rifles. Isn't that how it started in Canada? First it was like, oh yeah, everybody give up handguns or rifles, all your AR-15 rifles, your Ruger Mini 14s, all those. Oh, now you got to give up your handguns. Now they want your shotguns and rifles. You give them an inch, they take them off. Those people up there are so screwed. Dude, I would like to go and visit there, but at this point in time, no, dude. I'll ever cross any other border unless I'm forced to. I'm not giving up until I'm forced on my knees, man. That's how that's gonna go. I mean, there's a lot of talk all around, but I'm not quite worried about it. I'm still in the woods. What can you do? I mean, New York's gonna have a conniption fit. So we'll have to watch and see how that rubs the people that voted that guy in the wrong way. Yeah, they take 100 miles. Yeah, got that right. Guys got that right. I've always said that, like, nowadays I won't even debate with anti-gun people, and especially leftists. Like, I have nothing else to say to you. I don't care what you think. I've had enough about the rightists too, on the far right. I don't want to hear anything you got to say either. You're like, I'm gonna live my life the way I want to live it. If you don't like it, tough shit. I don't have to conform to your bullshit society that you want. One wants a police controlled environment worse than what we've seen in the other side just wants a free ride. Like, I get it, dude. Nobody should have to pay to live on this planet. We were born here. We have no choice. I mean, if they find another place across by Mars or something, that's cool stuff there. Then they can rule the way they want to do. But until then, tough shit, tough cookies, man. And I'm talking out the side of their mouth, man. They're not good people, and other folks are just not gonna learn it, man. I mean, look at that Mayor Adams dude. The dude was getting indicted for criminal actions that he knew about that he was doing, and then said, like, oh, I don't care, I'm being indicted, I'm protecting you from the criminals. Well, you're a criminal yourself. So you're a criminal's telling you he's going to protect you from the other criminals? Like, come on, dude, get out of here with that, dude. And then he was on some talk show and he flipped out. So what does that tell you about that guy? Lifelong liberal suffering from soft on crime. Yeah, dude. Like, I've been a victim of a violent crime. That's why I carry a gun everywhere I go. Straight up, man. That's why I carry a gun wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been a fancy motherfuckers. They think they're a bunch of oh, this cop grabbed me because I spit on him. Well, what do you expect? Oh, this cop grabbed me because I kicked at him. Rocket science. And that protesting, that's just for clout. what do you call them, TikTokers and all those YouTuber famous people, dude, that stuff. That's their arena. Not my circus, not my monkeys. You ever heard that? You know what I'm saying? Not my circus, not my clowns. I mean, not my circus, not my elephants, not my donkeys. Like, this is just it's a shit show, in my opinion. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do in my life, whether people like it or not. But they'll learn their lesson, dude. Like, he's an openly said he's a democratic socialist. I remember when that term was being used many, many moons ago, right before Trump ran, the Democratic Party said it didn't exist. That's not what their party was. Remember all those? Oh, there's no such thing. And then Bernie started leaning that way. And then they're like, well, we got to make Bernie happy. And then they stole the election out from underneath him and forced him out. Then he started really saying that. And then Cortez came into the picture, old horse teeth Cortez. I mean, you know, politics is always a different drink, but it tastes like shit. And, it is what it is. To the extreme. You look at California on their ballot that just passed. Now they're going to read them, not us, for them, their friends, their money, their corporations, their interests, their stocks, their bonds, control, and how they can grasp control. My anti-gun brother-in-law, Bo, when Moral happens, my compliant non-flamethrower drones. I just, I try and put that stuff out of my mind nowadays, dude. It's gonna do nothing but make everybody upset, and why be upset? I think from the shit that I've experienced just the last handful of months, man, just enough is enough, man. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm satisfied. I'm glad I'm talking to people that want to know about hunting. I'm glad I'm talking to people that are hunting, and that is the difference. Everybody knows these guys are full of shit. So, and some of the biggest hunters in the game that you see on YouTube have been caught for poaching. So, I mean, there's a lot of ins and outs about that, just like there's gun culture. But I like it because people are willing to learn. Like, I've known people throughout my life that were gun owners, but they called for gun control. And I've never understood that. I'm like, that's just going to lead to them confiscating your gun. Well, no, they won't do that to me because I'm so and so and so. It's like, dude, they'll do it to anybody. Gun control has never been about the firearm. It's about control. How they can control it from, It's always been like that. In my seeing from them, like, I stopped giving them money because they're dragging the same people that were hanging around in the NRA to their organizations. And it's like, no, man, I'm good. I've already gone down this path. So when you fail and you end up like that organization, I'm not going to do you the old told you so. I'm just going to shrug my shoulders, dude, and find a different lawyer. I mean, that's all you need is a lawyer, right? And the funds to do it, is the biggest thing. But I mean, at this point, nobody's going to have anything. It'll be a fight for survival, like Guy is talking in the comments. You got states trying to ban handguns like Canada, like what California's doing with Glocks. You got now Maine has passed a red flag law. If you live in the state of Maine, you better go read the fine print on that. I mean, you let these things slip through because some guy that says he supports Hamas is in a city that is far from me, doesn't dictate what happens in my state, and is full of a bunch of whack jobs and actors who can't act anymore, and ball clubs that can't play ball anymore. No, I'm good, dude. You guys go try and live in your utopia of bullshit, and when you come out of that utopia of bullshit, will welcome you back into society, unlike what some people want to do just many, many moons ago that wanted to, exonerate people from it, from you know, them doing special things like going to games without masks, and then they wanted to, you know, excommunicate people from society during those days. Remember that? It was like it was full circle, full tilt. It's just like happening at a much rapid pace for the other side. Revenge is a bitch, man. I wouldn't want to be on Trump's shit list. I'll tell you that much. You know, that's just the way you did them dirty, man. You did them dirty. I bet you if they wouldn't even done some of the things that they done to him, he probably would have walked away. I think he would have. I think he would have got frustrated and said there's more money in showbiz, but nope, they egged him on. And now that dude's full blown. Remember he was talking about he wanted to run for a third term, always kind of hinting at that, and they were like, no. Intention on joining these organizations. If not waste my money, I can spend it on something else. There you go. That's where I'm at right now. I mean, even some videos people put out about the Second Amendment Foundation, dude, were pretty disturbing videos. And like I said, dude, you're having those same types of people in that organization. Stop doing that. Those people are not good for any organization. They're there just to reap the benefits, dude, and get clout on social media. Clout on social media will become non-existent when we're fighting in our backyards, man, for our rights to survive and live. RFL, evolution of telling tribe chief your neighbor has a baby hostage in his hut. Oh, I don't know that code wall language, but I tell you what, man, it's I've seen a lot of wacky shit, and just hearing that ICE was in town today. I wasn't in town today, so I didn't know that. But again, these people were floating. Well, Kristi Noem was in Gary the other day. That's a hop, skip, and a jump away. Like, these people are visiting this area because it's a high trafficked area. If you ever watched The Mule with what's that old guy's name? Clint Eastwood? Yeah, dude, that was in my area. Drove down the highways where I live, man. Delivered the drugs for the cartels. Yeah, man. Dude was known to the area where I live. There's a lot of shit, that's floating around. You just can't get caught in it, man. Or at least have a paddle or some high boots, some waders. I don't know. Well, we've been on here for 17 minutes. Anybody else got anything to say? Nobody's got anything else to say? Anything important? You guys have anything coming on? You guys doing channels? You guys have a new business? You have anything to promote? You want to tell somebody to piss off? If I want to drink Kool-Aid and my pockets listening to their horse shit, I'm joined, but no thanks, I'm good. Wonder if the CIA is just taking back the trade. Who knows? I know Cash Patel's not doing a very good job. He's just not. He's an idiot. I've always known that guy to be an idiot, but he's an idiot that has power now. Dana White learned that when the UFC got raided the other day. Did you see that? For the betting, for the sports betting. So, I don't know, guys. I'm going to head to bed, man. It's pretty late. You guys be cool out there. Stay safe. Carry a gun. Be vigilant, Watch your shopping cart, I guess. I don't know. When was the last time I was in a grocery store? 4 weeks ago? I think it was 4 or 5 weeks ago. Yeah, something like that. It was a long time ago. So the recession, budget cuts have easy money to tap into. Oh, I don't doubt it. Well, you guys have a good night. Be safe, like always. We'll catch you on the next one.